Welcome to the Nerdy Multiverse. She-Hulk is back with the 9th episode of the series, being the first season's finale, and this episode brought a very different and unexpected conclusion to the first season. And it also had some pretty big Easter eggs and direct callbacks to the comics that have to be talked about. So let's break down and give our thoughts on the final episode of Season 1 of She-Hulk, titled Whose Show Is This? Before we get started, we wanted to give a quick little shout to our merch site where we have brand new shirts, sweatshirts, and more, the designs heavily inspired by She-Hulk and her series. So if you wish to support us or check those out, feel free to go check that out. The link is in the description below. We also wanted to give a quick spoiler warning for those that haven't seen the episode, as we will be touching on it and there are some pretty big things in it. We will also be touching on previous episodes as well, so you have been warned. With all of that mess out of the way, let's begin with this finale. The episode starts off with a little montage paying homage and giving a big throwback to the Incredible Hulk series that was around back in the 70s. After being caught by the DODC in the last episode, after she got angry with the information being leaked and whatnot, we find Jen being held in a cell at the DODC building, and her friends come in to discuss the case that needs to happen, suing Intelligentsia for invading her privacy and every other horrible thing that they have done to Jennifer. They put one of those inhibitors on her leg like what Emil Blonsky has to prevent her from becoming She-Hulk and to keep track of the transformations if she does transform into She-Hulk. But Jen ends up getting let go from DODC's custody and she has to pack up all of her stuff from GLK and H, presumably because she has lost her job there, and she ends up moving out of her apartment and back in with her parents, all because of what Intelligentsia has done to her. Jennifer is putting together information to get to the point of figuring out who is behind it and then taking care of the problem legally, though, by taking Intelligentsia to court. She ends up deciding to go visit Emil at his retreat to talk to him about everything that has been going on, especially because Emil has gone through this exact same problem himself. Nikki is on the Intelligentsia site and decides to upload a video of Jennifer to get trust from the group and get on the inside to figure out who is behind the group, and she gets invited to a secret event. When Jennifer gets to Emil's retreat, Emil isn't there and she is instead just met by Wrecker. Nikki and Pug get to where this secret event is and he goes in undercover to blend in with the rest of the guys. And we find out that not only is Todd a part of this group, but he is the one that created Intelligentsia himself. And the event has a special guest as they welcome in Emil Blonsky, who has been transforming into Abomination, which obviously means he has been breaking that promise that he promised to the court and to Jennifer when he was set free. Jennifer ends up leaving Wrecker after he tells her that Emil is still on the retreat. He's just down at the lodge at a special event, of course being the Intelligentsia event. She walks into all of this and Todd ends up revealing that he did in fact end up getting some of her blood and he injects himself with it, becoming a Hulk himself. Well, Jennifer is beyond confused on what's even going on with this finale as she talks to us, the audience. Titania and Hulk then pop in and everyone starts fighting while Jennifer continues to question what kind of finale this even is. Cutting to the Marvel Disney Plus homepage where Jen turns back into She-Hulk and breaks out of her own show and goes into Marvel's Assembled, the sort of behind the scenes show for these different series that they are releasing, where she walks onto her own show's production and confronts the show writers about this and how generic the finale's writing feels. And then she tells them that she is going to go talk to Kevin, walking through the Marvel Studios headquarters with all of the different props from the different movies, like the Infinity Gauntlet and the different Iron Man armors, all in the background. She goes through some security to go speak with this Kevin. Obviously, this is supposed to be Kevin Feige, but instead of himself and him talking to her, it's a robot and sort of AI, and they talk about the finale and how bad the finale is and how they are writing her character in it, making jokes of the visual effects and CGI being on a budget and how the CGI and visual effects teams are now working on a new project so that she can't change into She-Hulk on screen, and this project being Wakanda Forever as we hear the music in the background. They also mention a second season as well as a movie, and the movie I believe that they were mentioning or hinting at happening will end up being a another solo Hulk movie, which has of course been long awaited. Jen ends up asking him about different characters in the MCU and their problems, and then she asks him a question everybody has been wondering: when are we going to see the X-Men? You can also see a ton of comics around this room, like some Doctor Strange, Captain America, Avengers, the original Infinity Gauntlet, and possibly a Deadpool one as well. And they completely end up changing up and practically rewriting the finale in this room, getting rid of the Todd Hulk and how Hulk just randomly showed up while he was supposed to be in space in Sakaar. And Kevin says that they need that because they were going to introduce something, but this ends up happening either way later in this episode. This entire part of the finale really reminded me of the time that She-Hulk broke the fourth wall and broke out of her own comic and went to confront the writer of that ongoing run, John Burns, to talk to him about the writing of her character and how she doesn't like it, and then completely changing it up as well. Hopping back into her show, and now the different finale as Todd is getting arrested and Daredevil comes back into the show. Jennifer, Matt, and her family have dinner together, and Hulk ends up showing up as well and saying that he knows he has been gone on Sakaar for a long time now, but he is back and there is someone that he wants them to meet, as he introduces his son, Scar. Scar, the son of Hulk in the comics, was born on Sakaar, and after his mother died and Hulk thought he died as well, it led to the whole storyline of World War Hulk. But it was later revealed that Scar did survive, and eventually he went after his own father for revenge, as he originally thought that his mother died because of Hulk. Returning to GLK&H with her job back, She-Hulk is asked by an interviewer outside about how she will deal with people like Todd and Intelligentsia, and she says that she will be going after people like them, both as a superhero and a lawyer, much like how Matt Murdock was telling her to do it in the last episode, and much like how he does it himself. Which is where the episode ends, but there is a post-credit scene where we see Emil back in the DODC cell, but Wong comes in and takes him to Kamar-Taj, which is where the season 1 finale of She-Hulk officially ends off. This finale was actually very entertaining and enjoyable, and really did feel like a big homage to She-Hulk and her original comics. This episode and the previous ones were definitely the standouts, and definitely did improve from other previous episodes and some of the lackluster pieces of content. The fourth wall breaking in this episode was absolutely amazing and so much fun, and how they sort of poked fun at some of the haters and whatnot was pretty funny as well. I am so glad that this finale did not disappoint me and that my worries turned out to be wrong. The rush finale was not there, and the way they turned it around was really unexpected and awesome, and the fact that there really wasn't a secret villain that was already predicted by almost everybody, and how they instead went on their own unique path felt so different and super fresh to the MCU, specifically with the Disney Plus shows that they have been releasing, and how often they have had very predictable or rushed final episodes. And if there does end up being a second season for She-Hulk, which I do believe is basically confirmed now, I will 100% be watching it, and I hope that the second season takes this unique and different route as well, as this one was a lot of fun. I can't wait to see the future of She-Hulk, as well as the other characters that were in this show, like Abomination and Daredevil, as well as Hulk and his son Scar now being a big thing now, so the future of all those characters will be super interesting. Overall, for this first season, it was all super fun. It had some good comedy, great acting, a good amount of action, but not too much in there where it didn't feel like a comedic show for She-Hulk. The season definitely did have some ups and downs and some lackluster moments or episodes, but it definitely ended up pulling all the way through, especially with these final 2 episodes, and nothing felt really rushed, and instead it was straight up fun. Like I said before, I am glad that those worries that I had of there being a predictable or rushed finale happened to not come true, and the improvements were really good to see. I will say though that not Not everybody will like this show, and that's for sure, as this definitely will not be for everybody, but whether you liked it or not, I think that there was at least something in the series that everybody will like no matter who it is, whether it's the comedy or all of the different characters. So with our thoughts out of the way, we want to know what you all thought of the finale as well as the season as a whole now that it's finished, so make sure to let us know in the comments. But with all of that being said, that about does it for the finale and the first season of the She-Hulk series. As I always say, thank you all for watching, and if you want more nerdy content just like this, make sure to sub to the channel with notifications on. And if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like on it. We will see you all the next time that we go through and explore the nerdy multiverse.